Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Wednesday and welcome back to the show, Crypto Warriors.
Oh, yeah.
I said it all backwards as always. Good morning, good morning. Happy Wednesday, Crypto Warriors, and welcome back to Gym in the Crypto, episode 128.
Oh, yeah.
Today is Wednesday, March 21st, and I'm King.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay, and we're here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community Monday through Friday at 10-ish.
At 10. Listen,
and,
you see,
lately,
we are getting. Lately, we've been hitting this 10 o'clock. Listen, it has been important to us. We know you all have busy days, and we appreciate you tuning in. So we are trying to actually be here at 10.
Oh yeah.
However, the 10-ish thing is still in effect as of now.
That's our trademark.
That's our trademark until we get a channel. KH, shout out to KH. Yes, Instagram has a post. If you haven't been around, we posted on Instagram by the dip today.
Oh yeah.
Actually, all our social media channels are about to have some more posts to it. So we're coming back strong. Don't worry. Again, we had to go back in the lab for some months to get some stuff together. Michael Malik, peace to you. Thank you. P-Man Bam, what's going on? Deron Carr or Darren, pardon me if I mispronounced that. Angela Brown, hello.
Crypto Wimp. I
there
love
we
that
go.
name. Yeah.
Everybody in the game, people.
Yeah.
All right, let's get started for the free Bitcoin yesterday.
All right, for the free Bitcoin, the winner is Aficionado Team. Their comment or his or her comment was basically about our subject, which was which country do you think Trump or somebody in government may try to ban cryptocurrency from? And Venezuela was the first one we've seen any type of national currency being banned, so to say. So their comment was about Africa and that the African Union has a lot of different restrictions.
And I saw that comment. I've been thinking about Africa too. They're gonna try to hit them.
Yeah, and
they're gonna try to hit them.
I mean, honestly, from an economic standpoint, some of our friends at Bitmari, we were speaking with them last week, and they even said that the control of money is so strong in Africa, it's almost impossible to get anything through, which kind of shows how great of a company they are that they did. But his comment basically said he thinks in the African Union or Central African Republic will be the next country or the next countries that get hit with sanction or.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I wonder why. Yeah, exactly. So good comment there. I've already sent that free Bitcoin to you, and appreciate that comment.
For sure. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. And again, as always, people, just a little bit of Bitcoin, a few dollars worth.
Not a whole Bitcoin.
Got to remind everybody. We need to put that in the note section, but just as a heads up. All right, a lot of news today. Good things. Of course, we saw the market bounce back a little bit. Of course, for those who bought in December, it's not a strong bounce, so we don't talk about price too much. But as far as what's going on in the news, let's get that article cam up. Boom.
Oh, yeah.
U.S. National Security Agency, a.k.a. the NSA, develops system to identify Bitcoin users, says leaked documents. Would you believe it?
Of course.
Right? Of course. Who didn't think this was happening? I mean, it's water wet. It looks like the NSA reportedly is able to locate senders and receivers of Bitcoin around the world as classified documents provided by Edward Snowden revealed, The Intercept reported on March 20th. They said basically, right here you can see the sources that was disclosed to The Intercept, a publication dedicated to adversarial journalism, followed Edward Snowden's revelations of mass reconnaissance in 2013. And it looks like the NSA managed this by creating a system for harvesting, analyzing, and processing raw global internet traffic using a program disguised as a popular anonymizing software, according to other documents. And then kind of on the background, I know they said it's somewhere here in the write-up. Not this, and it was on the official write-up on Telegram, which, of course, we actually, have for you. Pages from Oakstar Weekly. That's where it came from, March 8, 2013. As you can see, a lot of it's blacked out, of course, because it was classified, so we can't see all that good stuff. Top secret, top secret. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, here we go. Here's an important thing you all need to take in right here. Oh, I can't highlight it. Okay, well, this third paragraph, X key score. If you don't know what that is what the NSA has been using to track people. Here at home and abroad, it is basically an internet for spy and spy services in the military.
Yeah.
I won't say I've used X-Key Score or any other program like that, but what I will say is I know for a fact of what I can say is firsthand experience that these things exist, and with certain clearances, which I actually have, you can go on and check it out and see what's going on around the world around you.
Oh yeah, and if you think Tor is safe, think again.
Right.
Think again.
So to me, this is a huge story.
Yeah.
But it's also it's a huge story actually for a good reason. Everything they say is backfiring on them. I thought Bitcoin was anonymous. I thought it was drug dealers and money laundering and criminals, and you're setting up your story for the terrorist attack that you're going to use to blame Bitcoin on here in the next, however, a year or two that's coming up when it happens. So, you know, you say all this negative stuff about it. Yep, Google Thread and Prism. Thanks, CryptoQ, for sure. You say all this negative stuff about Bitcoin. You can't track it. We've been saying from the beginning it's only pseudo-anonymous. Real police work can actually track it down or, you know, to the best of his ability. But now you're saying that since 2013, we've actually had a program to track Bitcoin.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Which, I mean, we've been saying it, you know, like we said all along. But at the same time, there are people who literally think they can just do Bitcoin transactions anonymously. Of course not. This does make privacy coins look even better. For those of you who
just got a subscriber. Thanks, Janet.
Oh yeah, thanks for this. Yeah, thanks for subscribing.
I was wondering what the noise was. That look.
Oh yeah, and if you're thinking about privacy coins, Monero is the only really true private coin. Zcash is almost there. There are some exploits there, but as far as privacy coins, that's definitely a market that's going to boom when people start getting their transactions linked to their name, and they have an executive order to use it. Monkey Rocket. However, the problem with that is, if that order can be used to get terrorists, quote unquote, all they have to do is identify one of your wallets or one of a regular person's wallet as used for terrorists or terrorism, and boom, now they're tracking you and all of the movements there. So that's exactly why cryptocurrency was not created, to not be tracked. However, you have these this tracking for a reason, or for their reasons, because they want to, you know, stop terrorism. But we all know what that is.
Yeah. John Sieber said there's a market with citizen information globally. Here, let me put up the chat count. They cannot spy on their own, but they can let others do the spy on their own citizens to buy from them. I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the actual. It's a program name for it. Or it's a strategic name for it. Where yes,
snitch.
Hey, listen, people, you never know when it's coming when he's here. I'm telling you. Oh my goodness. But yes, that program, you know, the EU does it, New Zealand, America, and a couple other countries, of course. That's all on our good guys. France, and of course the UK. Basically, we spy on each other and give each other what we find. However, I'm telling you, America, we don't care. We're doing it to ourselves and everyone else under the guise of terrorism. But
yeah, and honestly, we might be stepping on some toes because the Facebook broadcast just failed to reconnect out of nowhere.
Oh, there we go.
As soon as we start bringing it up.
That's shadow ban.
Yeah, now they only give me option to finish or delete the video.
Some key words over there, buddy.
Yep.
But yeah, so again, you can check out this article. It's on Cointelegraph. Of course, we'll have it linked in the notes later. But again, it's one of those things where slippery slope. Slippery slope. And of course, they're using all in the name of terrorism and all this other stuff that hasn't happened before. They started doing this in 2013 without your permission. And here we are now in 2018 talking about it, which means they have even more robust platforms, more robust ways to track people. But again, you know, this is why decentralized is important. This is why even Andres Antonopoulos said that anonymity feature of Bitcoin should be a feature, not a bug. You shouldn't have to turn it on. It should just be on, like Monero. And this is why privacy coins will continue to excel and why we're bullish on them. I mean, we're bullish on privacy coins because of the bullish going on in the government.
Oh, yeah. Well put.
Right? Speaking of the government and picking sides and spying, boom, Russia. Oh my goodness, what is going on in Russia? Russia exclusive. This is a Time magazine too, so excuse me for the cropping, but an exclusive came out on Time. I think it was late yesterday or today, saying Russia secretly helped Venezuela launch a cryptocurrency to invade U.S. sanctions. Oh my goodness. Let's go ahead and hear from President, Dictator, Supreme Being Leader Maduro. Hope I understand
Petro le va bien a toda Venezuela. Entonces el día de ayer el gobierno imperialista de Estados Unidos sacó un decreto contra el Petro. ¿Ustedes lo vieron?
I wonder if she's signing for real.
Válgame Dios, pues.
A shameful, illegal, absurd decree.
Decreto vergonzante,
illegal, I will.
ilegal,
Like, that might actually be illegal.
absurdo.
For one person, our president, to come out and say nobody's allowed to use this
fue
crypto now.
solicitado por la oposición venezolana, porque fue la Asamblea Nacional la de Caburguesa la primera que aprobó algo contra el Petro. La única denuncio, la persecución ilegítima, inmoral.
So yeah, he goes on for like another 30 or 40 seconds. There you go, Mr. Donald Trump.
Donald Trump contra el pueblo de Venezuela, la persecución financiera, monetaria, criminal.
So you can check that out. There's only about 20 seconds left.
Can we comment on how hard the
right? Did you see her over there? I'll keep going.
Get it. Yeah,
go ahead, get her.
She going.
I wonder if she's doing it for real.
The sign language lady is going in.
Pido la solidaridad de los pueblos del mundo. También le digo al pueblo venezolano.
And I ask for solidarity of the people.
Al petro no lo para nada.
All right, so the petrol, it doesn't need to be stopped because not enough people are going to buy it. All right, so we all know that about the petrol.
Get that garbage out of it.
What's important, again, about this Time Magazine article, though, is a couple things. First is that, yes, by President Trump saying, sanctions against the petrol, we don't believe in it, don't buy it, it's illegal, you just made it popular.
Oh, yeah.
You just made it popular.
Yep.
Now other countries actually are looking at, is this a way to skirt the U.S.? Now, even if Russia was in bed with them, so what? That's their game plan that they're using. And you cannot tell the entire world that a crypto is illegal. Same way the NSA can't spy on the entire world and track every Bitcoin address from the entire world just because they see fit to do it.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. No one has voted on this.
Yeah. Most of these people, they are cabeza culo. Most of them, so
crazy in the head?
Nah, head ass. But
you're a fool. I just thought that.
For all my DC people with slang.
Right,
but yeah, that's basically what we see here is a bunch of cabeza culos make decisions about stuff they know nothing about. And as far as the supposedly collaboration that they have, so what? Like, I mean, who cares? I mean, it honestly is not going to stop anything. So. Just more.
Again, it's this first paragraph sums it up with time. It said President Donald Trump may not have realized on Monday that his executive order would step on Russia's toes. Its official target was Venezuela, specifically the country's plan to create the world's first state-backed cryptocurrency, the Petro, which went on sale Tuesday. Again, that happens a lot. That happened with, or maybe it was our plan, but that happened in Syria with President Obama too. So every president's been stepping on the Russians' toes because they have their way of doing things, and clearly we have our way of doing it. But again, the important thing to highlight this is, President Trump is saying you can't buy this crypto. Again, you are trying to forbid an entire country, 330 million people who have never voted on this, even talked about this in an open forum to say we can't do anything with this petrodollar. Not that we want to, but B is also showing other countries that this is real. That yes, they can skirt sanctions if they use the whatever little crypto they decide to invent or create, because anybody can do it.
Yeah.
And if other countries decide to send them aid using that crypto, we won't be able to find out who.
Yeah. As soon as you ban it, they can make another crypto in 30 minutes. They can just copy and paste the code, change the name. We'll send this. We'll send. I mean, it's one of those. Hey, it's like a dog chasing cars. Even when you catch one, you don't even know what to do with it. So,
right.
Honestly, like we said, it is funny that they are linked together when they were trying to stop it, and then I don't know. It's just a cluster.
Again,
right
this is if you traveled abroad, you will understand why people look at us certain ways, us as Americans.
Yeah.
And this is one of those moves. Again, I get what we're trying to do. We're trying to reinforce that hey, you won't skirt U.S. sanctions. However. This clearly is not the right way to do it. But we'll see what happens. We'll see if Turkey and Iran gets their coin. Go ahead.
I was going to say, somebody said, Jamal, going to change how wars get funded? Exactly. Like we said, there's going to be people buying their own armies and purchasing mercenaries from around the world. You know what I mean? Because you got to have enough money to buy your own island. You got to protect it. And it's going to be small, like we predict, there'll be smaller settlements of people in a sort of borderless type society. So going forward, this just shows how ridiculous it is that artificial lines drawn by people you never met basically cut up or split up the people's way of thinking based on who runs that country. So, just more of the same.
Speaking on ways the country is ran or countries are being run, it looks like the G20, we've been talking about the G20 summit here in Argentina the last couple of days. It just ended. It calls for crypto regulation recommendations by July. So basically, the G20, when they're on their little huddled up room, all the elites and leaders of the entire world, some were elected, some stole the election, some were dictators and don't care and just showed up anyway. Yeah. But G20 conference, they basically said, all right, we don't know what crypto is, basically. We all are in agreement that it isn't a concern. Of course, that's the messaging they're putting out. However, even though it's not a concern and no one thinks it's going to cause anything to the traditional market, we still want you all to have some regulations in by July. That we all can agree on as I would say as the world, but actually just the main central bank players of every country, which is what the G20 is primarily composed of. What the central banks are already in control over, Once they see the recommendations for regulation, then they'll move forward in July. So, I don't know. I mean, again, they excluded some of the primary countries that aren't invited to these things. So I don't know how they're going to get a global regulatory standard on it. And then they actually threaten people, basically saying they commit to implement the FATF standards, which is basically their version of their regulators are. What is it called? I don't even know what it's called. I'm tired of looking. Oh, here we go. The Financial Action Task Force, an intergovernmental body formed to fight money laundering and terrorist financing to cryptocurrency. So they said they're going to implement their little team of Diddley Gang, Ned Flanders on the world if we don't abide by their regulations they're trying to come up with in July.
Like I said, pieces of paper written or stuff written down on pieces of paper passed by people you never met, don't know, and they're trying to basically dictate how you live, which is hilarious because they can't even agree on it. So what do you think other people are going to do? They're not going to sit around and be like, well, yeah, now it's time to listen to them because they got their stuff together, man.
Right.
Go damage your own fiat currency, stop messing with ours. And there's been people that have spoken out, in France, they said that, hey, we're not about to regulate it. Some other places, Japan, they started saying, hey, hold up. You stepping a little bit too far now. We'll regulate it, but on our own terms.
Right, and that's what a couple countries came out and said. They were like, basically,
we just do it on our own
they were like,
terms.
we'll regulate on how we feel. We don't take orders from G20.
Exactly.
Like, that's what they came out and said.
Yeah, because he was like, we don't know y'all, but we know the private business owners who own exchanges, who run large mining operations. They're in our country. They listen to us. Like, there's nobody in Japan that's going to listen to something that some guy in England told them to do. So it's really no point in even having these discussions. However, if they do want, if there is some sort of regulation you have, they have to agree, which is going, I mean, that could take a decade. Yep. By that time,
no, and that price pump, they're going to make that, somebody going to just take the charge. We're going to do it just like this.
Ban it all.
Right? The game people, I definitely want to address this, see if I can get the chat cam up. Mm-hmm. I saw a post on IG saying that the NSA created Bitcoin and that they created the SH8 256 hash. What are your thoughts on this? For those who don't know, that's the hash that is used for Bitcoin, the code on blockchain. Mm-hmm. So I'll let Bitcoin Zay go into this a little bit from my thoughts. I'll let him go because I want to steal his talking points. I've heard him talk about it so many times.
Well, from a historical standpoint, whenever new things are created, new technology comes. Usually, if it's created by somebody who's anonymous, they have to have the resources to make it. So if you think about what it took to make Bitcoin, that algorithm, along with the technology to hide whoever the anonymous person is, yes, I think it's very likely somebody who either worked for the NSA or worked alongside them may have created it. However, this is open source technology. So the point of open source is to be able to view the code, see if there's anything that could stop it or shut it down. And if this plan was put in motion, like you may have seen a magazine cover where they talked about a one world currency and it was coming by 2018. That was exactly 30 years ago, I believe. The thing is, if the person who created it, if it was NSA, it's still open source technology. And if the algorithm was created by NSA, it doesn't mean they created Bitcoin. So because Satoshi is anonymous, we don't know. Exactly. So even if they created the algorithm, they didn't create Bitcoin. I think that's more likely because I don't know why someone in the NSA would create something that could potentially take down banks and
Well, everybody's saying that NSA owns the network, so they can have the one world government.
Yeah, and I can kind of see that, but at the same time, it's.
In worst case scenario, so what?
So yeah,
what else are we gonna do? We're gonna stay in the USD, the fiat currency realm.
Yeah, they already tracking there.
We see what's happening there. So and not only that, like you said, it's open source. From that, now we have Monero. We have all these new ones coming out. Mm-hmm. And again, for those who don't really understand open source means, that means you can download it right now and you can get to work on it and fork it off and do something totally different that might be 10 times better. Probably won't be, but it might be. Yeah. And people can use that. So
and because Bitcoin started the decentralized revolution, say there is a big issue with Bitcoin. Say quantum computers do. Exactly, because they let Pandora's box open. Because if they were trying to control it, if NSA was behind this and they're trying to control it, they definitely lost control. Because, like I said, everybody's using it. But I tend to lean towards the fact that NSA influenced it, or NSA tools might have been used, but that the person or people who created it, their goals were something totally different. So, and
then just as a last point on that, NSA, military, all the people, yes, this is where all the tech is rolling to. If you're a private, even if you create things private, you have a private organization, you have a private company, aka drones. Yeah. You create something private, if it's big enough, the government's going to come in.
3D printing.
Facebook dropping $60 billion overnight because found out maybe private company got some of their data. You know, yes, the 3D printing, like
3D
you said,
printing guns.
If it's that good, so for them to possibly create the algorithm or even Bitcoin, the network, whatever. Yeah, I'm just saying I can believe it because I've seen a ton of stuff that's already been out that's just not out in the public yet, and then it comes out. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, like I said, that debate has been going on and going on. And I mean, we can keep it going. But the biggest thing to me is I've viewed the code enough times, used the technology enough to know that it works and that it will be here for a while. So
this is what important is, though. I'm stumbling over all my words today. What's important is what doesn't work. I was gonna say what not works. What doesn't work. And it looks like Canadian Bitcoin entrepreneur slams Bcash as scam during the parliamentary testimony.
Oh yeah.
Now I know a lot of our viewers here love and hate Bcash, so we'll try to stay unbiased. However, a entrepreneur named Jonathan Hamill, appeared in front of Canada's House of Commons Standard Committee on Finance yesterday, March 19th, and declared, in quotes, "Pay close attention. Other cryptocurrencies are downright scams like Bcash."
Dang.
That is huge because he said that in front of basically their parliament, in front of their Congress. He said that into the Canadian. That's the same, and that's the same committee that Andre Antonopoulos went to go speak at about 4 years ago now as well. So that's pretty funny.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I like the fact that when he, basically came out, he said they're scams, and he only said Bcash. He could have said some other ones, but he literally just like Bcash. Like, that's the number one biggest scam that's come out. And that was a coordinated effort, too. That was a big thing back in August. How soon we forget.
That was huge. People some people missed it. Some people missed it.
Yeah, people were losing their mind. Like, oh my God.
People, August 1st, they thought Bitcoin was going to officially die.
Yeah.
All right, so if you missed that fiasco, boy, the tweets were going crazy.
Yeah, and somebody said the aliens might have created Bitcoin. Yeah, they may have, but it was definitely a human who made Bitcoin Cash. And that's why it's so trash. Yeah, that human is, Roger Ver and his clan and Craig Wright and all those people, Jahan Wu trying to get in on it. They do what they do, but it's not looking good right now.
I will say, Hamill was blasted a little bit on Reddit because he came out and said he's going to say that, and he was asking for donations as well. Hey, I get it. Why not pay the man? He's basically saying, I'm going to go. But people said it didn't kind of seem like a place for sincerity since he asked for donations. But an important fact to point out that I believe the article also points out is that, Bcash, when it first came out, was touting the whole faster transaction times and cheaper transactions than Bitcoin. We kept telling you that they were spamming the network and the mempool, which was happening. And now it looks like Bitcoin has faster transactions and is lower costing than Bcash. So there's literally no reason but to take an extra $1,000 away from the Bitcoin market cap to have Bcash, or the Bitcoin price to have Bcash. So
that debate was hilarious because it's like, we're trying to make a bicycle faster. Let's make the wheels bigger. Like, what? It makes no sense.
You gotta love those metaphors.
Like, we're gonna get this lightning network and put this motor on it.
Here is what's going on right now. A16Z USB lead $12 million funding for CryptoKitties.
Oh yeah.
We have been talking about CryptoKitties all year, and it looks like the team behind the viral Ethereum app CryptoKitties is breaking away from its parent company, Canadian-based Axiom Zen, and raising $12 million in venture funding to go at it alone. Yes, CryptoKitties is here to stay. What are your thoughts?
Oh yeah, gotta get my CryptoKitty soon. Shout out to Rima, aka Bitcoin Bay, on Twitter. I know she has a bunch of CryptoKitties.
Does she really?
Yeah, she says she has a bunch. Shout out to her. She's one of our researchers. But it is hilarious that there are, there's gonna be they call them cat people, or there's people who have a litter of digital cats, and they can sell them based on whatever stuff they give them, how they look, this and that. That's Yamagata. What is it? Tamagotchi. Yeah, it's just that all over again, just on a different scale. And I think people are underestimating the market of kids and children
in the crypto space.
In the crypto space, because if you introduce crypto to children and kids at a young age as CryptoKitties or as some type of gaming platform, I can guarantee you they're going to grow up into their teens and adult years only wanting to use that because they'll be used to it. It'll be something that kids as well as adults can get involved in. And it's a way to make some money. Imagine, you make a CryptoKitty for less than $100 and you resell it for a few thousand. That's another way to make money in the crypto space.
Really? I can see kids like live streaming that thing and really blowing it up.
Oh, yeah.
I won't even say kids. I mean, there's people out here in LA who live stream and build their CryptoKitty up all day.
Like, your CryptoKitty dirty.
Right.
Take a bath.
And what's I think interesting about this, venture capital firm Andreessen Horowitz, I always say that wrong. They're some of the ones who actually bought into this CryptoKitties idea. And again, CryptoKitties is only about 3 or 4 months old. It came out in December. Was something, the ha-ha joke of crypto and all that. But no, it's like it shows you can actually use a network to transfer things of value.
Sort of. But Ethereum did crash.
It did crash. It showed it needed to scale.
It needed to scale,
but it also showed, like you said, it's a viable business idea that a lot of people like. Put cats and breed them out. So huge news.
I think Neo has something similar with puppies. Neo puppies. So that'll be something to look forward to. If they got Neo puppies popping soon, there'll be the people who like dogs. So you can get on that.
There we go. Mm-hmm. Controversial Tether. Oh, we had to go here. Controversial Tether issues $300 million in new tokens. Look at that money. That's what I'm talking about. I'm making money fly. Who know about that old Gucci man? Circa, what was that? Circa 0708.
0708. Yeah, shout out to Gucci. But
we went to college, guys, so that was some good days on that type of.
But this is hilarious.
Yeah, this is funny.
If Tether is under investigation since December 6th, which we talked about before,
right,
and they're still printing, they either really don't care or they're out to clear. We don't know yet.
Right.
Because honestly, when they printed it, it was literally me and a couple of the analysts that we use for our digital assets group. I literally saw it on Twitter, and when I saw posted in the Discord group, boom, immediately the price went from I think 8,500 or 8,600 close to 88 in a couple hours. Because even if Tether itself doesn't affect the price, the psychology of people thinking Tether affects the price made people buy into it. And like I said, we're not out to clear by any means from a bull standpoint. However, when you have fresh money being printed, it can either be used for gloom or doom, or it can be used for gloom and doom. So I would watch the price action. However, this is hilarious to me because it's only one of two things: either they're legitimate and they got a whole bunch of money, or they really just like, we don't care. We're just gonna
keep pushing it out.
Keep pushing it out, and we'll pay you back later. Like.
That's too funny.
Yeah, Tether is investigation. What investigation?
Well, yeah, and for those who don't know what's going on, basically Tether, you kind of seen this first sentence here. Tether, the altcoin backed by fiat currencies like the USD and Euro, has issued another 300 million USD Tether tokens, priced at $1 per token. Now, the reason why that's important is because Tether is basically a coin, a stable coin in the marketplace, in the ecosystem that says every one coin will be worth $1. Now, the problem with that is everyone's asking, where are the dollars?
Yeah.
You keep saying you have all these dollars, i.e. you just print 300 million tethers. Where are the dollars to back it?
Which is sort of like when we ask fiat.
Right. It's when we ask our government, where's the dollars at? And they're
exactly.
trying to go to jail today. So, it's important because a lot of people think the market's being manipulated and propped up by tethers. And even so, 300 million for it to only have maybe like a 4 to 6% bump in price action shows that it isn't the entire market clearly, which we all know that. Is there slippage there? I'm sure there is, of course. They're definitely. I mean, come on, dollar for dollar. Highly doubt they have all of that.
Come on, man.
But they say they do. We know they fired their last auditor, so I guess it remains to be seen.
Oh, you want to see the books?
Oh, right.
You fired.
You said it was a problem.
Yeah, that's not what we brought you in here for. Yeah. But honestly, like I said, if Tether was affecting the market that much, I think we would have seen, even worse droppage. When we saw the report come out during what I call FUD week, it was that week where it was like 2 stories a day. And during that week is when the report came out about Tether, even though it was a month late, just to try and, get people scared. So we'll see.
Hey, shout out Anya92. Yeah. If you know the sauce, you have the sauce.
Yeah.
And we know what we talking about.
You gotta be born with the
sauce.
You
definitely have the sauce. You know we have the sauce as well over here.
Oh, yeah.
We pay the cost.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, what's going on? All right, we're going to end this on a great story. 2, actually. Well, 1 won't be so good for a lot of people in the traditional markets. But this is a great story. Twitter CEO says Bitcoin will become the world's single currency within a decade. Jack Dorsey, the CEO of both Twitter and payment service Square, has said that he sees Bitcoin as the world's and internet's single future currency. He was quoted as saying the world ultimately will have a single currency. The internet will have a single currency. I personally believe that will be Bitcoin.
Oh, yeah.
He kind of went in detail saying, look, he knows it's not there yet. No duh. You know, it still has the kinks to work out. It's still new. But he's saying that he thinks once everything is worked out, Bitcoin will be the one. And we agree in the short term for sure. Next 10 years, I think that's definitely possible.
Yeah.
There isn't a reason for 90% of the other altcoins, people.
Yeah. And on top of that, he's an investor in Lightning Network. And if you've seen the progress for Lightning Network from the beginning, which we have, you will see what we see is that Bitcoin was made as a digital cash system, and Lightning Network was the upgrade that Satoshi sort of talked about. And when that comes about, where you're making, Visa-like transactions at some point, come on, man. There won't be much reason to use any altcoins, and it won't be that much reason to use fiat if the price of Bitcoin is gradually becoming something that you can peg a national asset to.
Right. I mean, that's where it's coming to.
Yeah,
listen, people, when the central banks start stocking up on Bitcoin,
which they already are. So,
right.
At this price, hovering around 9,000-10,000, you may think to yourself, well, I don't want to spend it, I want to hold. But however, those people with 0.1 or 0.01 Bitcoin, imagine if it goes to 100K. That'll be something that, as a digital cash system, being able to send it and buy things with that, that'll be regular for people. I'd rather pay in Bitcoin because I'll get that value back based on the increase in price. So it's moving from a speculative asset more towards digital cash. I think 2020, when we have that halving, is sort of the lockup date for people who want to be in it at the ground floor, so to say. So, and somebody said McAfee's Johnson is
right. Shout out to CryptoQ. Kind of like CryptoQ said, if you buy too many altcoins, people, sometimes you get too much sauce and you end up lost in the sauce. You don't need 100 different altcoins unless you're playing with a 6-digit plus portfolio.
Oh, yeah.
All right, last but not least, not necessarily a crypto news story, but we keep talking about the government shutdown that has actually been almost going on since 2017. We started talking about the government shutdown to people back in 2016, believe it or not. So it's literally been a full 2 years of us talking about government shutdown, and they keep pushing it. This Friday we don't come up with a decision about as far as how we're going to budget everything. It looks like we might be getting some budgetary restraints handed down. It also looks like President Trump might get his fence, although they said it's going to be see-through. He's not going to get a concrete fence like he wanted, so there will be no point to it. It's just to satisfy the very interesting people who really believe that. But anyway, that's a different show. But in general, the important thing to know, and the reason why we talk about government shutdown, is because right now the U.S. market has been bullish nonstop since 2008. It's over 10 years. Usually corrections happen every 8 to 10 years, or as Bitcoin Zay points out, every new president at the second term or whatever. So it's about that time for it hasn't happened. And we've only seen Bitcoin in a bull market for the traditional side of the house. So if something does happen where people do lose faith in the U.S. dollar, any little bit amount of faith, and that thing cracks like we've been seeing these cracks lately with Amazon, with Facebook just yesterday, with Snapchat, with the entire NASDAQ, all these little cracks we're seeing, that's what we keep telling people. They're cracks. That glass is going to break here soon.
And gold jumping, silver jumping.
And if we have a government shutdown, a big one, maybe it won't happen this week because we've been pushing it on. I see us continuing to kick the can down the road. But when that thing finally does happen, if you are not into crypto already, I'm telling you, it is moon. People quote me on that.
Oh, yeah.
And that is when Trump will actually say something about Bitcoin. All this might happen this year. We'll see.
Yeah, he probably paid Stormy in Bitcoin. I was like, man.
Oh, my goodness. All right, for the free Bitcoin today, what are we doing?
For the free Bitcoin, Twitter CEO Jack says that he thinks Bitcoin will be the single currency in 10 years. However, there are some people who think another currency may take over. If there is a cryptocurrency that could take over Bitcoin, let us know which one you think it is, as well as if you think you could make up a cryptocurrency that could take over Bitcoin. Bitcoin coming back for the win. So, leave that comment, put your public address, and we'll send you that free Bitcoin.
As always, thanks for watching, people. Sincerely appreciate it. Again,